You know that feeling when a song gets you totally pumped for a game, or a certain playlist just helps you zone in and study? Well, that's music, and it's constantly working on us in these really powerful, sometimes invisible ways. Today, we're going to dive into how music is one of the most effective hacks there is for your brain, your emotions, and even your social life. So, what is actually happening in there? The second you press play on your favorite track, it's not just your ears that get to work. Your brain lights up like a fireworks show, kicking off this incredible chain reaction that can literally change how you think, how you feel, and what you do. So let's get into it. All right, first up, let's talk about your brain's hardware. You see, music doesn't just pass through your brain, it actively rebuilds it. Listening to and especially playing music can physically change its structure in some pretty mind-blowing ways. Okay, so when you learn to play an instrument, your brain starts building these things called neural connections. Just picture them as brand new, super fast highways that let different parts of your brain talk to each other to handle really complex stuff, like reading music while also making your fingers move the right way. And get this, over time, it can actually make certain parts of your brain bigger. Have you ever put on a song and felt your mood just flip instantly? Well, there's a reason for that. Music directly taps into your limbic system, which is basically the feeling center of your brain. That's the science behind why a single melody can make you feel happy or nostalgic, or even sad in just a matter of seconds. And hey, here's a pro tip for your next study session. It turns out background music can seriously help you focus, but there's a trick to it. The perfect volume is right around 60 decibels. That's about as loud as a normal conversation. It's the sweet spot because it's just enough to block out annoying background noise without being so loud that your brain has to work to ignore it. So yeah, keep the volume down to keep your focus up. So we've seen how music can affect our brain's hardware. Now let's look at the emotional software. Music is so much more than just background noise. It's this amazing toolkit we can use to figure out and even manage our own feelings. Think about it. Composers are kind of like emotional architects. They use a very predictable set of tools to make you feel a certain way. If they want you to feel happy, they'll use a fast tempo and bright major key chords. But if they want to hit you with the feels, they just flip it. Slow melodies, minor key, and boom, your brain gets the signal for sadness. It's a formula that pretty much works every single time. And what this really gets at is, you know those times when you can't quite find the words for how you're feeling? Music can. It gives you a way to process really complex emotions, like trying to figure out who you are or just getting through a tough day, in a way that feels totally safe and understood. It's like a universal language for our inner worlds. And moving beyond our own heads, music is one of the oldest and most powerful ways we connect with each other. It's like this social glue that's held communities together in every culture and every era of human history you can think of. And throughout history, music has always had a job to do. For example, in many African cultures, drumming wasn't just for celebrations. It was a way to send complex messages across huge distances. Over in the British Isles, folk songs were the history books of the people, passing down stories from one generation to the next. And all across Asia, music is a core part of spiritual practices and huge festivals. And that social power is something you can actually feel for yourself. If you join a school band or an orchestra, it's like a crash course in teamwork. You have to listen to each other, you have to cooperate, and you need the discipline to work towards that one shared goal, making awesome music together. And performing in front of an audience, that is a massive confidence booster. Okay, now let's zoom out and look at the big picture. Music has been with us for a very long time, and the way we create it and listen to it has completely transformed, all thanks to human creativity. Let's do a super quick trip through history. The first instruments we know of from about 40,000 years ago were simple flutes carved out of bird bones. Then you fast forward through the lutes of the Middle Ages, the game-changing invention of the piano, and of course, the birth of rock and roll with the electric guitar. And now, today, musicians can create literally any sound they can imagine with digital synthesizers. And just like making music has evolved, so has listening to it. For most of human history, the only way you could hear music was to be right there, live. Then the phonograph came along, which was basically magic. Sound recorded? That led to vinyl and tapes, then cleaner-sounding CDs, and finally to right now, where streaming puts pretty much every song ever made right into your pocket. So after hearing all this, you might be thinking, okay, this is cool, but how do I get in on it? Well, the great thing about music is that anyone can start their own journey at any time.
You absolutely do not have to be some kind of genius to get all the benefits of making it yourself. Here are some really simple, practical ways to start. Check out your school's band or choir, or pick up an easy-to-learn instrument like the ukulele. There are tons of free tutorials online that can teach you all the basics. The real key, though, is just being consistent. Practicing for just 15 minutes every day is way more effective than trying to cram for hours once a week. And hey, learning with a friend is a great way to keep each other motivated.
So music is this lifelong adventure of discovery. It rewires your brain, it helps you understand your feelings, and it connects you to the entire history of human creativity. The only question left is, where are you going to let it take you next?